Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Rachel and today I am doing a book unhaul. This book unhaul, it was very spontaneous. Like I did not think I was going to be doing a book unhaul anytime soon. I usually like to go through my bookshelves like 3-4 times a year and just get rid of books that I either read, really didn't like, don't want them on my shelves anymore, or books that I've just held onto for a while. I know I'm not going to read them and they would just be better suited in someone else's hands. So I'd like to do that, like I said, sort of quarterly. And I don't know what happened because I did do a book unhaul about 2 months ago, but the other day I was going through my bookshelves as I do. I reorganize them honestly like once a week at this point, and I saw like 1 or 2 books that I was like, yeah, you know what, like I don't want these. I'm gonna get rid of these. I'll put them on my Pango Books account. Like I'm done. And then I don't know what happened, but 14 books flew off the shelves essentially. And now I have like 14 or 15 books that I'm going to be getting rid of. So I thought I might as well film it, show you guys what I am getting rid of, why I'm getting rid of them. I am very pro unhauling books. I love watching people get rid of books, whether they've read them or not. I enjoy it. I think it's really good to just like be honest with yourself, get rid of the books that you know you're not going to read, or just the books that you did not like. There's no reason to hold on to them. Life is too short to have bad books on your bookshelves. That's something I stand by. So I am doing a little impromptu book unhaul today. So before we get started, please make sure that you are subscribed to my channel so you never miss an upload from me. I upload bookish content every single week, and I did just want to say thank you guys so much for 4K. Like I cannot comprehend that number. I do not know what that means. Like my brain won't allow me to even think about that. So I'm extremely grateful and appreciative. I absolutely love doing this. I love filming. I like editing, but my favorite part of this entire thing is when I upload and I get to talk to you guys. So I'm so grateful. Even if you've just watched one of my videos or if you're a subscriber who has been here from the beginning, I am so thankful to you. Like it means the world to me, and I don't know how I can ever express enough how grateful I truly am, but thank you so much. I just want to take a moment and say like thank you guys, because I really am so appreciative. All right, so without further ado, let's get started with the book unhaul. We're starting out strong. Book of Night by Holly Black. You guys probably saw this coming, right? You guys knew. I read this book, oh God, what was it? Maybe May? Feels like it was so long ago. Really did not like this book. I was so hopeful. It is Holly Black's adult debut. If you don't know, Holly Black wrote the Folk of the Air series, and I believe she also co-wrote the Spiderwick Chronicles, which the Spiderwick Chronicles was like my favorite series growing up, and the Folk of the Air series is one of, if not my favorite, YA fantasy series. I love it so much. So I had really high hopes, and I just did not like this. It so didn't work for me. I have nothing positive to say about this book. I gave it 2 stars. I guess like the writing was good because Holly Black is an excellent writer, but I do not want this book. I'm not going to continue on with the series, and like there's no reason for this book to be on my bookshelf, so I am going to be unhauling this one. All right, the next 2 books that I'm unhauling are a duology, and I feel like people are going to be like, why are you getting rid of that? But it's genuinely a situation where I have no interest in reading these books. I know I'm not going to read them. I bought them a super long time ago when I first got into BookTube and people were talking about them, and it's been a year and a half, 2 years at this point, and I know I'm not going to pick them up. And that is The Savage Song and Our Dark Duet by V.E. Schwab. This is a YA fantasy duology, and you know what? I'm pretty picky at this point about what YA fantasies I pick up. There are YA fantasy series that I have either started or haven't started yet, but I'm looking forward to. I really love the Gilded Wolves trilogy. I'm working my way very slowly through the Shadowhunter Chronicles, you know, things like that. Like there are YA fantasy series that I really love, want to keep up with and all of that, but this is just a duology that I don't think about ever. I forget it's on my bookshelves a lot of the time, to be honest with you, and life is too short. Like I don't want to read this. I know I'm not going to, so I'm going to be getting rid of both of these books, and honestly I feel pretty good about it. The next book that I will be unhauling is The Worst Best Man by Mia Sosa. I read this in June. I am pretty sure. It was a 2-star read. The premise of this book is very cute, and I was very excited. It's enemies to lovers. We have a bride who is left at the altar by her fiance. She finds out that the best man at the wedding kind of convinced her fiance to leave her, and then years later, our bride and the ex-best man come together, have to work together, and then they kind of fall in love. It's a really amazing premise. I did enjoy the writing of Mia Sosa, but like there was so much insta-love, and like this book just did not work for me, and as soon as I finished it, it's a book that I know I will never think about again. I want to make more room on my shelves. So unfortunately, this one's gotta go. Okay, we have another V.E. Schwab series that I'm going to be getting rid of. I've only read one book by V.E. Schwab, and it was The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue, which I gave 3 stars. It's like a good book, it's like fine, but I was pretty disappointed with that book, so I'm not like super keen on finishing her backlist. I do have the Darker Shades of Magic series, which I am interested in, and I do think I'm going to pick up, but the duology that I will be getting rid of today is Vicious and Vengeful. I think this is kind of like, I mean, it's YA fantasy, but I think there's also sort of a sci-fi element as well. I've read through the synopsis a couple times to make sure that I don't want to get rid of it, but like I just, once again, it doesn't call to me. I'm not interested. I don't think about this series, and I would much rather focus on adult fantasies, new adult, and then some YA fantasies that really stick out to me. And this one just doesn't. It's another case of like, I forget that I own these. I think someone else could enjoy them a lot more than I do, so I am going to be getting rid of them. Okay, the next book that I will be unhauling is Finlay Donovan is Killing It by Elle Cosimano. This might come as a surprise if you've been watching my channel from the beginning. I did like this book. I gave it 4 stars. I think it's funny. I think it's witty. I enjoyed the story, but I just don't feel like, I don't really feel anything when I think about this book. I don't know. I really like to keep my bookshelves up to date with books that I haven't read that I'm very excited to read, or books that I've given 4 or 5 stars to that I just really love, had a great experience with, I think about often, even if I'm not going to reread them. Maybe I just have very fond memories and attachments, and 99% of the books on my shelves right now represent that. This, I don't care. I just don't care about this book very much. I'm not planning to continue on with the series, which, spoiler for our next book, it was good. Like, it was good. I think if you're into thrillers, if you're into kind of like cozy mysteries, totally recommend. A ton of people on BookTube absolutely love this series. The more I think about it, the more I'm like, is this a 3-star? Because is it fun and cute? Yes, but like that's it for me. And this is just like totally personal. And yeah, I just don't want it on my shelves anymore. All right, and so the next book that I am unhauling is Finlay Donovan Knocks 'Em Dead. I think I pre-ordered this book before I even read the first one because I was very, very convinced that I was going to absolutely love it. And I'm just at this point now where I'm not invested in this series. I definitely think I'm not a cozy mystery person. And while I did enjoy the first book, I just like, there's so many books, so little time. I just want to spend my time reading books that I'm very excited about. And I have literally hundreds of books on my TBR that I am super excited about. This is not one of them. And that's what it comes down to. I don't care about this series anymore. I'm not interested, so I'm not going to continue on with the series. So I am going to be getting rid of this book as well. Okay, another book that I'm sure will come as no surprise if you have been keeping up with my channel. I am going to be unhauling Book Lovers by Emily Henry. I just don't want it on my shelves because I really didn't enjoy it and it's taken up space, and like that's pretty much the basis of it. But I was very, very excited for this book. This was my second most anticipated book of the year behind Hosab, and I thought that this was absolutely going to blow me away and be my new favorite romance. It was not. This was a disappointment for me. I don't really care about this book anymore. I don't really think about it. I mean, I do think about it when I think about my most disappointing books of the year. So I know a lot of people love this book. I just really did not. It did not work for me. Therefore, I just want to get it off my shelves. Okay, so the next book is 100% a case of me being very influenced by BookTube, buying a book, sitting with it for months, not reading it, and then realizing I'm probably not really going to be that interested in that book. I think I bought it because of the hype, and I trust a lot of the people who absolutely loved this book, but I just know like it doesn't really fit my taste, and that is A Curious Beginning by Deanna Raybourn, which is the Veronica Speedwell mystery series. I'm not sure if this is like just a mystery series or if it's a cozy mystery, but I've heard like the best part about this book is sort of the relationship between Veronica Speedwell and Stoker, who is kind of a Sherlock-esque character. This is 100% just not a book that I think I'm going to be picking up anytime soon, and I kind of just want to get rid of this book. Like I'm not that invested. I'm not that invested in owning the physical copies of this book, basically. Also, and this is like very petty and silly, I know that, but the paper of this book is like so thin and see-through. You can see the text that's like on the other side of the page while you're reading this one. It really screws with my eyes. So I've tried to like look at this book and it kind of hurts. It's kind of like when you look at something that's supposed to be 3D and you don't have 3D glasses on. It's a lot. It's a little disturbing for my eyes. And yeah, this is once again, sometimes there are books out there that I'm like, I want to read that eventually, but I'm definitely just going to listen to the audiobook or maybe get the ebook from my library. I'm not invested whatsoever in owning the physical copies of this series, so I wanted to make more room on my bookshelves, so this one had to go. Another book that I will be unhauling is Funny You Should Ask by Alyssa Sussman. This is like disappointing because I think that the book is really cute. I love the colors. I love this art style. It's a very, very pretty book, but the reading experience was very average. I gave this 3 stars. I don't think it's bad. I don't think it's amazing. I was just very like, neutral about this book. It's literally just not a book that I think about. I put it down after I finished it and I'm like, yeah, I'm never gonna think about this book again, and I just want to make more room. So unfortunately, this wasn't a winner for me, and I just felt like the storyline was very insta-love and kind of flat, and you know, it's not a romance that I loved, and I'm just ready to get rid of it. Okay, the next book that I'm going to be getting rid of is Things We Never Got Over by Lucy Score. Every time I hold this book in frame, it like screws up the color, so I'm kind of just gonna like maybe go like this. I don't know if that helps, but you guys know I don't like this book. Like, you know, I did a reading vlog on it. I really did not like this book. This is like a grumpy sunshine small town romance. It was very popular on TikTok, which is why I picked it up, and boy did I not like this book. I really, really dislike our main hero, Knox. He was not it. So I am very happy to be getting rid of this book. It's also very chunky and cleared up a lot of space on my romance shelf, which I am always happy about. So I'm very excited to be getting rid of this book. All right, and the very last book that I will be unhauling is Lore Olympus by Rachel Smythe. I know. I wanted to love this book so much. Like, I was so ready to. I read it during a 24-hour fantasy romance readathon, and I gave it 3 stars. It was a fine experience. I think the art style is beautiful. I think the book itself is gorgeous. Like, I'm very disappointed that I did not love it as much. And I do know that some people said that, oh, this book is kind of a setup, and then like the next book you're going to get more into the story and it's better, but it's just not something that I really care to continue on with, I think. And I'm really sad about that. This is a Hades and Persephone retelling graphic novel, and I really wish that I enjoyed it, but I don't think I'm going to continue on with the series. This is also another very big book that clears up some space. So because I don't think I'm going to continue on with the series, because I just wasn't really all that like blown away by this book, I'm gonna get rid of it. Like, I don't see any point in keeping it if I'm not going to continue on. All right, so that is it. That was my little impromptu book unhaul. If you made it to this point in the video, go ahead and just leave the stack of books emoji because I got rid of a stack of books today. As always, my Instagram and my Goodreads are linked down below. You are welcome to follow me on there at any time. I really appreciate that you watched this video. I hope that you are having a fantastic day, and I will catch you guys in the next one.